Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Black Eyes. Now, I've gotten a lot of requests for defensive build. Now, I used to play defense back in '09 and 10 just because it was fun stopping, the cheese shots and all that. But I switched over. I used to also play goalie, too. But I've been getting a lot of requests for defensive build, and I didn't really go in. I played defense like 3 times in this game before this. So it was just throw on a defensive build and go out there and play. But since I've been getting so much request, I decided to, venture off a little bit, take about a week and a half and just play and switch builds and do constant, ask my friends who play defense what kind of builds they use, why, blah, blah, blah. But come to find out, a lot of them follow the methods that I follow with the way that I make my builds because, well, it's EA. So if that's screwed up, then the rest might as well be screwed up as well. So I've been playing with a defensive defenseman build, two-way build, and the offensive awareness build. And this is what I came up with. Defensive awareness, defensive defender build is for OTP. If you want to go into OTP and you want to set up and you want to hit people and you want to go nuts like that, go ahead. That's for OTP. Two-way, it was a little in between. I couldn't really decide. It was a little slow at times. The shots were weak. It was not a build that if I were playing defense, I would want to use. So the offensive defenseman build is the one that I chose to latch onto and try out a bunch of times. Now, that build is built for sixes. Why? Because you can still hit people and knock them off the puck. You may not level people, but the whole point is to get the puck. And that's what a lot of defensemen don't understand. Sure, you might knock a guy down, but if you knock him down and then the puck is gone and his friend picks it up and passes it, and it's a goal, you hit someone, but what's the point? So this build actually collects the puck. The movements are right. The speed is nice. If you ever play an offense and you wonder why defensemen just catch you all of a sudden, this offensive defenseman build really is fast. So let's just jump right into it. Offensive defenseman. Let me see. I gotta think because let's go to edit attributes because I usually don't go to the defensive side, but I've been using it a lot. It's fun. It's a crap load of fun. So it's an offensive defenseman build. It's 71 overall. You know what I do with my overalls. You know they don't mean anything. If you watched any of my other videos, as I go through the attributes, I was making a build with one of the subscribers whose club I currently play on right now, and we were trying. I was giving him a build to use, but the build wasn't matching up, even though he had the same attributes, wasn't matching up what my guy was doing. I took him into the shot. The shot should have been the same in terms of miles per hour. It might be a internet thing. Who knows? But his build wasn't matching mine. So we decided to make the boosts the exact same way that I had the build I was using or giving him to use. And it did make a difference. I mean, his slap shot went from a 77 to an 85. So it did make a difference. Who knows if that really is what it was? But if you're not getting the same results, I would say just try one couple times, matching up the boost exactly the way I have them. I'm not going to go through the boost. You can pause, look at the boost, da-da-da-da. Now, Deaking 80. I have the Deaking at 80 because he had extra points. And it seemed to help him in puck control a little bit. I mean, if you're Deacon as a defenseman, you shouldn't be playing D unless you're blowing somebody out. Hand-eye 88 because his hand-eye is amazing. I mean, he bats stuff out the air. If a puck is anywhere around, he picks it up. It's amazing how good he is at picking up the puck and making sure it gets away from the defensive end. Offensive awareness, 65. You know the drill. Passing. Now, this is where the defenseman, my philosophy changed from offense to defense. Defense, when you have high passing on defense, you can hit the forward streaking. And if the forward is going towards the boards and you accidentally pass it towards the middle of the ice, it'll cheat a little bit towards the forward. But that's only if you have high passing. Now, I'm a proponent of low passing just because when I play offense. But on defense, high passing. Now, puck control 84, I don't know how much it affects it, but this guy's great at retaining the puck. He doesn't just pick it up and then get poked away right away or stick lifted right away. So 84 seems to be a good number. I tried out 75, but every time he would pick it up, he would get nudged or poke checked, and he would lose it. Slap shot accuracy, 80. 80 seems to be the number for the way I've set up this guy. 75 and 77 and lower, he misses the net way too much. But that could be a proponent of his stick as well. But for the way I have this guy set up, 80 works. Slap shot power at 90. I max out slap shot power all the time. Wrist shot accuracy, 65, 68, extra points. I mean, wrist shots, if you shouldn't be taking wrist shots, really. One-timers are the way to go, and that's where slap shot comes into play. Also slap shots. Defense, aggressiveness, 81. Body checking, 81. Because body aggressiveness helps you hit. And this guy isn't a great hitter, but he's a hitter if you have steam. If your legs are moving, you'll lay people out. But if it's a quick movement, he's a nudger. So he'll nudge them away from the puck and pick it up himself. And those are the kinds of checking, those are the kinds of builds I like. Guys who retain the puck. Defensive awareness, I put up to a 70 because on defense, when you are just sitting in front of the net and holding left trigger, it helps the defender just auto poke. And I tried it at 65, and he wasn't auto poking. He was just sitting there, and it was going across. But 70 is where he auto poked it. He didn't collect it, though. He just auto poked it, well, which is fine by me. I would rather it be auto poked someplace else than it being collected in front of the net when everybody's rushing the net. So defensive awareness seemed to have effect on defenders. Hey, lo and behold, something that works the way it should be according to EA. Discipline is show I don't take a lot of hitting penalties or I don't know if tripping penalties work. They never did for the offensive player with discipline, but I know hitting penalties put the defensive thing up. I would put it +5 there. I usually don't, but it seemed to help out. Shot blocking, 79. Shot blocking, instead of being the forwards that have to go down to block the shot, shot blocking, I just tried to find a point where he would go down and come up quick. And 79 seemed to be the point where you can press the left bumper and he'll go down, block the shot, come up quick. It also helps in the different animations that you do. So if you have less than 77 and you go to block a shot and the guy you're sort of going towards the forward or defender or whoever, he'll do that stupid Prince type block, where he's just standing still with his arm closed, and that's a stupid block on an animation. So anything above 77 helps you at least do the right end block on an animation, which means going down T&E. Stick checking, 88, obvious reasons. Athleticism, this guy is fast. I mean, it doesn't say he should be according to these attributes and stats, but he's fast. He's really fast. There are a few people that I can't chase down unless you're like a 5'7" grinder. Acceleration 90, agility 87. He's really quick on his turns, which is what helps him being fast, because the faster you turn, the quicker you are ready to go towards the puck. Balance, I didn't think it did much for a defenseman. I didn't see any difference. It didn't affect much. I mean, I tried it all different ways. I love balance on a forward, but it didn't seem to do anything on the defenseman. Durability, neither. Endurance, 79. I just threw it in there because, I mean, you shouldn't be having to chase down or too much or try to rush in the offensive zone all the time too much, so you don't need it really. Speed, 90. Now, strength is a weird one. When I put a lot of strength on this guy, he doesn't hit at all. When I put it up to 83, he does not hit at all. He just, bounces off people. So I decided to lower, and anything below between 71 and 75, it seemed to be a good number for him. 73 is what I choose to do it. He still hits. Now, I'm going to do the same things I do with the forward builds that I do. I'm going to show you him in here. And It's in my pro to edit on ice or whatever. So I'm gonna show you first. I'm gonna take you straight into the build first because I want to show you how he moves and how he shoots before I show you the makeup, the build, the stick, the skates, and all that. Um, so you go in, and if you're a defenseman, you're usually shooting from around here. So the first shot I take, goal. So that's the type of guy he is. He scores willingly. I mean, it's amazing. Not only that, and the reason I wanted to come in here first is the stick setup I have is because the goalie doesn't seem to control the puck very well. And no matter where I shoot from, what I do, the goalie, he saved it in his glove right there, but he doesn't seem to control the puck very well when when I'm using this type of stick. So it bounces around all there, and that's what you want. You want that for your forwards. It's also it's a higher stick because when I'm playing forward, the higher shots I tip. The lower shots I don't tip so much. I usually hit someone or get blocked or something like that. So, it's one of those things where you pick your poison. But if I'm playing defense and I'm playing sixes or I'm playing with a team, I want this type of shot where he can't control it as well. He can't, it's not an automatic save for him all the time. So you're going to be shooting from back here. You want to take that kind of shot. I'm shooting glove all the time. Glove's the best save animation all the time. So let's go down this way because this is the one that usually you see people doing and you think, oh, you want to do that. Where they come out and they shoot right there. Now, he just happened to save it and go on his butt. But that's the kind of stuff you want to do as a defenseman. Besides being able to collect, but you see all that, he's not a very good at saving the puck as is. Now I'm going to go straight in, hustling, and he's not going to be able to control it. Now, as a defenseman, that's what you should want. Besides scoring straight up, you should want to create confusion. Now, let me get into. I don't want to make this video too long. Let me get into it. The play type is 6'2", 195. This is a good weight for him because he, height-wise, he's still fluid. He collects the puck very well. It's long enough for him to reach on poke checks. 195. Once I go above 200, he seems to slow down a little bit. And it's one thing you do get is caught a lot of times with the way people play with the cherry pickers. So you got to be able to turn around quick and chase people down. And this is the good nudge weight. I call it nudge weight because you want to just nudge them away from the puck and pick it up. Now, this is where people are going to question, but I've never used, original type of sticks and everything is the way 2K has it. No. So the stick I was using, and you saw it was very effective. It scored and it created confusion by the goalie, is the 80 whip flex. Ask me why this works. I don't know. But 80 whip flex works is what it is. And the mid open. It creates confusion. The slap shot, when you take it, it allows your defenseman time to deflect it low. Sometimes on one of those shots where the referee has to review it, but it's always good. And you saw it scores. There's not much else to say. And then the shots around 91. I mean, so it's a really good build. Test it out, try it out. I'm not a defensive expert. I haven't played enough games to be claiming a defensive expert, but this build from the games that I've played works and works and works over. I'm starting to understand how to beat certain defensemen because of this build, understanding how they beat me and how they seem to be able to recover so quickly. All right, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks for visiting the Black Ice.